Edward from Spring has some flood fix-up problems.
Well, a sink sprung a leak in a bedroom up above the garage. Okay, yeah, and there's water everywhere. Edward writes, it soaked the sheetrock and insulation of the garage ceiling, right? It flooded that room, and water, all drains lead to the ocean,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
It's
fine.
just
That's
trying.
true.
The water's just trying to get home.
Yes.
Anyway, it soaked the sheetrock and the insulation of the garage ceiling, he says, and the floor above was just painted tongue and groove, so they were able to get it up and get in there to get what they needed done. But the fiberglass insulation was craft faced, and the paper was laying on the sheetrock of the ceiling. I don't know if that's how he describes
It's
it.
fine,
right?
yeah.
So he actually has two questions here. The first one is, should I replace the insulation the same way? Put the craft paper down on that and have it open. And he says there is some airspace between the insulation and the floor. Should it be packed tighter?
It's not that critical. Don't
Okay.
overthink it. Don't
right.
over-engineer it. The reason they did that, just like you would in a ceiling of a house, the craft paper goes down against the sheetrock, and you're able to staple it and keep it in place. And that way, then when you put the sheetrock on, everything goes together. So just put it back together the way it was. It's fine.
Would you use the faced one, or would you maybe get unfaced and put it in?
No,
there?
the problem with unfaced, and when you're doing something like that, you can't hold it up.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're going to put it in. They're going to lay it in from above, I guess, right?
Well, I think the sheetrock is gone. So
Right. Oh, I see. So they're going to go up and staple it in. I get it.
Staple it up and just it was fine. What was not fine was the water that flooded the
Water
ceiling.
not so good. Now, this is one guy who can get the insurance company involved.
We would never have had this question if he hadn't had a sink break. So the insulation, the ceiling, everything was fine. Just put it back the way it was.
All right. And the second question is, in the garage, the wood at the bottom plate was wet. And he says, I was planning on only replacing that bottom panel of the wall. My question is, should I replace, since a little bit of sheetrock got wet, should I replace that all the way up to the ceiling as well?
No, you don't have to replace all the sheetrock. In fact, if you can, it's a garage. If you can just dry out the sheetrock, or if it's even up in the stairs, if it's just sheetrock that'll dry. Remember, it was fresh water. It wasn't flood waters that we had, like say Hurricane Harvey. It wasn't full of all that schmutz and chemicals and all that stuff that really destroyed a lot of people's homes. Just let it dry. If it's solid, keep it. If it's all soft and squishy, then you have to cut at least 2 feet off the bottom and replace it. But I wouldn't replace the whole thing.
All right. And like you say, it's a garage. You got a question, you go ahead and send it to us. Visit HomeShowRadio.com. Click on that Ask Tom form. Send it to us. We'll post your answer just like these videos. Subscribe to our channel. Click the bell, and we'll ring yours when we post a new one.